Hi, welcome to Similar But Different, the podcast. Let's do that again. Okay. But I'm getting all the benefits.
Without having to pay.
Right.
Yeah, they screwed me. And then I found a bunch of friends that I was different from. I think I'd like the gram more if I got hit up in my DMs.
Okay, this should probably end. Hi, welcome to Similar But Different. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Rach.
How's it going?
It is going.
Yeah?
It's going.
I like those shoes.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, these I feel like are perfect for Easter and spring.
Yeah, and they're kind of not you.
Not me. Not me.
But
this
they're
is
light,
like,
they're fresh. They look light on the foot.
they are so light. These are like I forgot I had them, one, which is, maybe that means I have too many shoes. But I was like dabbling with some New Balance and I was like, wait, I kind of like these New Balance styles. And yeah, they feel amazing.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
New Balance is making a comeback.
Were they ever out? They've always just been kind of like a tertiary shoe.
Yeah, I mean they had those like two really solid shoes for a while back there, like I don't remember if it was like the 9770 or something.
This will mean nothing to me.
They have like they have numbers for like their different styles of shoes. And for a while, one of their shoes, the numbers were like super hot, and then like there's their super comfortable shoe that I feel like did really well. I can't remember the numbers, but
I think of a very there's like the dad New Balance, and then there was like the trendy ones that were more sleek, and they had like fun colors. They came into a bunch of different colorways.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking of.
See, I feel like I just need to, just so you know, NB, I think it's 970. No, that's not what I'm thinking of. So the classic looking, nope, none of these are right. Oh man, so the 991s, maybe that was like the way it used to be popular. This is we're going
quality
way off track.
content, yeah.
But New Balance now, they've got some pretty awesome sponsors, people. So like they got Cooper Flag, Duke player.
Okay.
19, went to college early.
Oh wow.
Or year early, and is already going into the NBA. Stud. And then Cameron Brink for the WNBA. And then they've got a wide variety of track stars, females, which I love.
That.
Like their women sponsors lineup is epic.
Yeah.
It's great. Coco Gauff.
I know who that is.
Yeah. They've got some
Tennis.
really, really good stuff. I'm pretty sure it's Coco Gauff. They've got some stellar sponsors.
It's unfortunate that she didn't get into golf.
Wow. Coco Gauff. Yeah, good one.
Do you
it's
think
good that she didn't.
if she's ever smoking weed, people are like Cocoa Puffs?
I mean, I would. I feel like that's a cute nickname.
Yeah, I also think it is.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
but she's
and
probably
there's
not a
also
weed
the
head.
cereal,
or like not that you need to be weed, but she's probably not smoking weed since she's just like the most elite athlete in the world.
Elite athletes do drugs.
No, none of them. Never.
Literally,
no steroids.
Who
nothing.
was Sha'Carri Richardson?
Oh yeah.
Who, and I think it's funny, especially drugs that are going to make you perform worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not an enhancing drug, but
yeah, it really does anything for you. I forgot about that. She was I feel like I liked her even more when I found out.
Yeah.
That whole thing happened.
Yeah. Though,
like, she's just like us.
Awful thing to happen to her. But then she came back then and then was like, okay, fucking crushed it.
Fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, there's this really sick Nike t-shirt that I really wanted. And it's all of their female athletes that they have sponsored. And it's like, so their new ad campaign is you can't win, so win.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I like that.
Didn't
they premiere that during the Super Bowl?
Maybe.
Yeah. I remember thinking that was powerful.
Oh, God, it was so good. And their athlete lineup is, sorry, New Balance, epic. And it's just everything that I wanted in a t-shirt, and they sold out instantly. So.
Oh, sad.
And, yeah. But it's okay. It's fine. Yeah. So, yeah, we should move on from shoes.
Well, how was your weekend?
The weekend was nice.
I forgot. I do know about her weekend.
Yeah. I haven't checked in with Citizen Heather, who might be mad at me, but I was supposed to go with her to a soccer game in DC. The morning forecast said a chance of like 50% chance or something of thunderstorms with a potential game delay.
Yeah, tut tut.
And I was like, I do not want to travel all the way to DC in a thunderstorm, potentially spend more time hiding in the stadium away from the rain while the game gets delayed. And honestly, I don't even know if it did rain or if there were any issues. Like,
So you didn't even ask her afterwards, how was the game?
I could tell when she didn't respond, and maybe I'm off on this, Heather, but when she didn't respond to me saying like no, I was like, I think I need to give her some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, did she end up going alone? Did she go with her kids? Or
well, so the reason she had the tickets is because they were going to go as a family.
Yeah.
But the family couldn't go. Kids had games and stuff, and so she was trying to take advantage of the tickets that she got.
Oh, right, because you asked she might have an extra ticket if I wanted to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I'm not normally someone to say no after I've said yes.
Okay. It's like
after I've said yes. Especially
Really?
like it depends.
and I'm not saying that in a judgmental way.
Yeah.
Typically,
if I say I'm going to do something, I try to stick to it.
Yeah.
And I'm more than likely going to do it. The things that would stop that would be actually not even always. Sometimes I would still go even if I had like a migraine or was feeling like dog shit. I would probably still just suck it up because I said I was going to do this. In this scenario, there's just a lot of things that I was like,
just didn't want to.
But when I talked to Heather about it, which I haven't yet because I'm still giving her some space.
This is Jen's public apology to you.
Yeah, well, this will come out, and hopefully I would have already talked to her by then.
You're in control of that.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
saying-
No, but I'm hoping she responds back. Yeah, hopefully we have resolved this because I love you, Heather, so there's that. So yeah, that didn't go to the game, and so instead, in reality, we did some stuff at the house. It was beautiful weather, and so I didn't want to leave the house. Not because, I mean, the weather was beautiful.
Right.
But I just was in a mood. I just said no to a soccer game. I was like, I don't really want to go anywhere because Porcello was happening, which can't wait to hear more about that. And then, there were some games actually local later that evening. Nathan had talked about going to, and I was like, don't want to go to that. So yeah, we did house stuff, and I did relax quite a bit.
Yeah, good.
So that was nice. That was my whole weekend too. Sunday was on the couch.
Okay.
I couched.
Well, you know what? Whatever makes you happy.
It was a nice weekend. I would have enjoyed spending time with Heather. So I need to figure out how to find that time back because I really wanted some time with Heather. So
Yeah, I would like some time with Heather. Heather, come to the pod.
Oh, that would actually be awesome.
Yeah.
Citizen Heather on the pod. But in reality, let's be real. I spent a lot of time this weekend on our audio.
Oh, yes.
I was up here for a few hours Saturday and Sunday.
Citizen Mel may never come back, but
She still loves us.
yeah, that's why we didn't have an episode this past week. Jen did crush it with getting the guest mic set up, testing my mic. She just didn't turn her own on. So
Yeah, like audio testing 101 is you test all mics before you record. I didn't follow that
I did
rule.
kind of assume that you did do that, but I guess no one came and chatted out of your mic. So.
Yeah, but I changed nothing, but with my mic,
Yeah.
I only added the third mic.
Yeah. What I've learned is that in the worst way, the impossible is possible. And I say that in the worst way because so many times at work, if something isn't working as expected, I'm like, but it's not possible for this connection to affect this connection. And I say, well, challenge accepted. Because we here make the impossible possible in the worst way.
We do. That's a good saying.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
I had the exact opposite weekend of you.
Busy.
So busy, but like in the best way.
Okay, good busy.
So Saturday we went to the gym. Then we helped one of Skylar's friends move a big piece of furniture. And by we, I was there. And Skylar helped move the big piece of furniture. And his friend like came up to me and was like, thank you both so much for helping. And I was like,
Totally.
anytime, Elijah, anytime. But then it was National Independent Bookstore Day. And so I hopped over to BBGB because I needed to get a book as a graduation present. It's a kids store in Carytown. Oh, the place we were moving. I felt like weird being so close to you and not seeing you.
Yeah.
But we were literally next to like Belmont Butchery.
Oh, nice.
His friend is moving salons, and so we were helping move some of his salon equipment from his old salon into his new hair salon. So if you need a hairstylist.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we went to Porchella, and that was fun. It's like a neighborhood, what's the word I'm looking for? Not festival, just like
I mean, it's
a
like
neighborhood event.
Yeah.
Yeah, they closed down some streets, and like basically local bands jam out on porches, and you just walk around, and
it's got a
very
really
chill.
cool history. It started like during COVID 2020 because like the neighborhood wanted like something to do, and to be able to spend time, and so it was some of the neighborhood or bands that the neighborhood people like that lived in the neighborhood knew, and they would just play music from their porches. And it had people would you like walk around, maybe sit and listen to this one, and then they had food trucks start coming out, and then they started
there were
selling
food trucks.
merch.
It was popping.
It is such a big event now. It has exploded.
Yeah, and it was such a nice day.
Yeah, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And they do some charity stuff now too. I think a lot of the stuff that they sell is like, I don't know, goes to something. But it like what a cool thing to start.
Yeah.
And it's now become like it's not just the people in the neighborhood or the people in the neighborhood and their friends. It's like grown into anybody can come.
Yeah. And
so
I
cool.
always see the signs up of them promoting it every year. And we've never been able to go. So I'm glad we got to do that. And then Sunday, new friend update. We had brunch with my new LinkedIn friend and her fiance at Liberty Public House, which I'd never eaten there before.
Okay.
I just like gotten apps and drinks there once after the Irish Festival.
Yeah, I was gonna
with
say
Lindsay.
we had there.
Yeah. And it was so good. And then we just had a local weekend. We then went to 2 other local small bookstores because I'm trying to fill out my passport, because if you go to all of the bookstores in the area participating, then you're entered to win a $50 gift card to each, I think, bookstore.
Well, that's cool.
I have until the end of this week, I think, and I've only gotten like 3 out of the 8 or something, so I do have
you can make it
many to go. But I thought you had to
do it in
purchase a book to get your stamp. You don't. But now it's just like you have to visit and poke around or whatever, and they'll give you a stamp. But we've bought books now.
Add
from
your
the 3
to
places.
your book collection.
Exactly. And I was like, I'm supporting local.
That's cool.
And then we went to the dead people stuff vintage thing where I ran into your old roommate,
Hannah.
Yeah, and that was fun, minus the expensive unnecessariness of it. Like, I think I told you that. It was like a Batman t-shirt for $90.
Oh, yeah. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's a 90s thing, but I guess they're charging.
I was like, yeah, this is probably a t-shirt my brother would have worn in elementary school or high school. And they're charging $90 for it. $90.
That's absurd.
Now, if you're going to sell like a vintage leather jacket for $90, yes,
or more.
Yeah. But I'm like, I kind of think a t-shirt, a used t-shirt should not be more than $20.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's not like
too?
It's some like
it's used too.
Duh.
Yeah, dead people stuff. It's not really, but like it's just other people's stuff is the thing. I assumed that there was no way they were selling a used Batman 90s t-shirt for $90.
Right, because it's not like some like insane collectible. I could understand they had a lot of like, you know, vintage sports type shirts and stuff, like a Bulls shirt from cool. You know, that kind of stuff. I can understand people being like, those are kind of like
starter
collectibles
jackets
and things like that, but I'm like, literally this is just a t-shirt with Batman on it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something there. Maybe it's I don't know.
I've decided there's not.
Okay, I'm good with that because it's absurd. So.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay unsold.
Yeah.
Wow, what if you found out that someone bought that?
Skylar thinks that they're marketed to rich college kids who have their parents' money and are like, oh my gosh, the vintage tee from the 90s. I gotta get this. I'm unique.
I'm going to use mommy and daddy's credit card.
Yeah, thank you.
Big fan of that. Good theory, Skylar. I like that. Damn.
And I took a nap. I read my book. We walked to an open house. That was fun.
Oh my God, I love open houses.
Yeah.
You mentioned though that like the dead people stuff wasn't like as much antique-y or like
I thought
clothing.
Yeah, it was 99% clothes. And I am more into housewares these days.
Oh yeah.
So
I said,
but it was cool to just walk around and something to do.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that's the fun part about it. And the weather was nice. Yeah. And you're at like a brewery type place where the vibes are cool.
Around stuff. Skylar did get a VHS of Jurassic Park for $1.
Nice.
Which I was like, well, that's fun because that's our favorite film. And sure.
VHSs, man.
Yeah, if it had been a DVD, I would have said no. But VHS, that's more, it's like something to display in the home.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
So I have it in with like some books that we have out.
It's basically the same size too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It fits naturally.
That's a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Very eventful.
Yeah. It was good.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. And I'm just shocked that I was able to do all those things and still felt like I had a weekend of enjoyment, of relaxation.
That's impressive in and of itself. Because anytime I do something, more than one thing, even if it's just for a few hours.
Yeah, we're one activity per day people. Now, we were invited to a party on Saturday night so the friend who Skylar was helping move, I said he's moving salons. He's a hairdresser, and so he was having a closing of this salon, opening of this new one I'm moving to party, but it started at 8 p.m. So we said no to that.
The start time is an hour from my bedtime.
Yeah. And Skylar literally said, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We're old.
Yeah, no. I need a start time at the latest 6:30.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good start time.
And ideally 3.
Yeah. Especially on the
weekend.
Started
in the afternoon.
And the weekend, that is clutch.
Yeah.
God, that's one thing that we got feedback from the Christmas party that we should do a summer event when the weather's nice so that you can, enjoy the rooftop deck that we have. And so we were talking about doing that when we wanted to do it, timing and all of that. And it was like, clearly this is going to be an event that starts probably like noon or 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And ends. There is an end date.
Yeah.
Like an end time.
8 o'clock. 7.
5. Go come here between lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
No, but like this
is a happy hour party. Actually, it's from 3 to 6. That's a good theme.
Perfect. Happy hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's a
and
great theme.
You can stay, but we will start charging you.
All I'm thinking about for some reason is their Sonics. They do their 2 to 5 drink specials, and I'm like, it's our 3 to 6.
Yeah,
our Sonic happy hour.
Yeah,
that's a good
Fox
one.
happy hour.
I like this.
Yeah,
it's the only time you can come where the drinks are free.
Right.
I mean, technically any time, but
no, you'll start charging after 6.
I like this.
It would be funny. I do want you to think of something that happens at 6 though. To
encourage
the cutoff people to
GTFO.
Leave. Yeah. You start playing closing time.
Oh.
I was like, you can turn the lights on, but it's still day.
It's still daytime. The closing time thing is insane. That was every bar.
Yeah.
Every bar you would go to, they would turn the lights on and play closing time.
Can't remember the last time I've been kicked out due to closing time.
Me neither.
No. And then you would go to someone's house and just keep going.
God. Or you'd go to those extended clubs that stay open until 4.
Oh no, I didn't do that. I'm not cool enough.
I mean, I didn't really do that.
Oh
yeah, here it is.
Okay. So Jim was like, "Do you have a topic you want to talk about?" And I said, "Yeah, it is controversial, and that it's not controversial at all, except for maybe a very small percentage of the population." Which brings me to this article.
Oh,
so. I want to say it was in Colorado. This woman has been trying to get the law changed. It's either... either you can marry your cousin in Colorado or some other state where they lived. You couldn't, and she wanted it to be okay or something. Anyways, I'm obviously just gave it away. But this woman married her first cousin, and they had children.
Oh my God.
And she was trying to get the law. I think maybe they got married in Colorado where it was legal, and then they moved to like Iowa or something, and it's not legal there. But she's like, I think her husband died recently, and so she's like, I'm going to use this time to bring awareness to our love and our marriage and try to get a bill passed that first cousins can marry each other. And so I'm thinking about this, and when I was listening to the podcast talking about this article, I think they looked up, and it's like, okay, well, we know, like, yeah, you shouldn't do like inbreeding because it kind of like messes with your genetics, and we all know about the Habsburg chins. We learned about that in school.
Yep.
But how, like, what is the percent chance? And I think it's like a 50% chance of some, like, and granted, I don't know how severe it is, and like the more you inbred, the worse it gets. But then I thought of another story that a friend of mine told me where she met a couple who were first cousins and married, but they agreed to never have children because of that.
Oh.
And so my question to you is it okay if you agree to never reproduce?
Oh my gosh. This is good.
And do you understand now why I was like, it's controversial, but it's actually not, because everyone is like, yo, that's not okay. But then the thought experiment, because then I got in kind of a back and forth with my friend, because they kind of convinced her. She's like, yeah, it is just society has deemed it unacceptable, but because the risks of like genetic abnormalities due to reproduction, but if you are not doing that, then actually, what is the problem?
So, oh my God, this is so good. I love it.
Really excited to title this incest.
Literally. I mean, so I'm like thinking back. Okay, back in the day, long time ago, people were like,
when you made out with your cousin.
No, people were specifically like, I'm thinking like, not even when before America was founded, over in like Europe.
Yeah, the point was to like marry,
it was like the
keep
perfect
it in the
genes,
family,
right?
Yeah.
Like, oh yes, we like, this is what we want, or like we're gonna couple up with this other powerful family, and then like everybody marries each other, and then those kids would marry other kids, and it would be like
everyone's marrying their cousin.
It was a whole thing. Not okay. Not okay. The thing that I don't get, and here's my reasoning for no to both of it. Even if you're not procreating, it's like, there's a fuck ton of people in the world. Why the fuck do you need to marry your own blood?
Now, what if you found out that Nathan was your cousin?
What?
Yeah. What if you just found out
Damn.
that Nathan is your cousin?
That would suck, because we would definitely get divorced.
Really?
It would be the end of that relationship. I do not think I can consciously be with a first cousin.
Yeah.
And I am going to clarify.
Okay, yeah.
Cousins,
what if he's your second cousin?
I'm going to say, because
like, I don't really... Hold on. Let's back up.
Yeah.
What is a second cousin if my first cousin has a kid?
It's your cousin's kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what is a cousin once removed?
What the fuck is that? I don't know.
They're like, oh, that's my second cousin once removed.
No idea. Is it when, like, did they get a divorce and then have a kid with some...
Hold on.
I don't know. This
Keep
is
talking.
interesting.
So you're divorcing Nathan.
Yeah, I'm not, one, that's tough. Especially for, like, here's where... Okay. I feel like I'm going to go back a little bit here.
Do you want me to pause to give this definition?
Oh, yeah, for the definition of...
Your second cousin is the grandchild of your great uncle or aunt.
Yeah. So your direct cousin's kid. Grandchild of your... Wait, great?
Your second cousin is the grandchild of your great uncle or aunt. I don't know any of my great uncle or aunts.
What's it? a great uncle or aunt would be your parents' kids.
Your
or your
great uncle is the
grandparents'
same
kids.
generation as your grandparents. So it'd be like my grandma's brother is my great uncle.
Yes. And so his kids, which would be our parents' cousins, right? Like grandparents' kids that means that my parents would be that would be their cousin. No, aunt and uncle.
This is impossible.
And their kids would then be their cousins. And then wow, this is a complicated tree.
And a cousin who is once removed is a generation above or below you.
Okay.
This is hard as a.
I feel like
I just need to like put up a visual, but I probably won't remember to do that in the editing. So everyone, pause, Google it.
yeah, take a moment. In reality, I'm gonna just reference the simple things.
Okay, we're gonna say first cousins versus everyone else.
Yeah, we're gonna stick with first cousins, and I think you bring up a good point. If I didn't know my family, and I was a foster person or a foster kid, and I grew up in a totally different family, and so that those cousins and those people that I knew as my family, aunt, uncle, whatever it is, that they're off limits, and all of a sudden I meet someone out, and we find out later that our genetics are the same. So if you're in foster care and all of a sudden you go and you meet someone out, you know, you have no idea who your family is, and you guys find out, maybe like, I don't know how you would randomly find out that your bloodline is connected, and that
You did a 23andMe.
yeah. In those scenarios, I almost feel like I don't actually think that's a problem. Like, I think it might be a problem with in terms of like reproducing. And that's something that you got to now think of.
Right. So what if you find out you and Nathan do a 23andMe and you're like, "Oh wow, you're my third cousin."
Yeah. That's third cousin too. Maybe I'm cool with that. But
What
like,
if he's your first cousin?
it's still weird. It's gonna make things tough.
Now, would you be like, "Okay, we just won't have kids, but I still love you"? Because I don't.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you might maybe want to go that route.
But
I don't
you would
know.
tell no one.
Yeah, you're telling no one that you found this out.
Or you become famous and then make all your money on TikTok because you're this couple who just found out your first cousins and how you navigate life.
Maybe. But see, for some reason I'm okay with this scenario. Whereas like if you grew up with this person as your family and you spent holidays together as family and now you're fucking, it's fucking weird.
But then you can also make, so to the Colorado woman, one of her caveats was, we weren't close
What?
growing up. Or no, maybe they were close. I don't know. But
Weird.
I should have found the article so I had all my facts straight. But that's my MO. But then there are like family friends who you grow up with, and then sometimes it's like, oh yeah, he's kind of like my brother because you grew up together,
Yeah.
but you're not related, and then you fall in love.
So,
You know what? That's my parents.
really?
They were next door neighbors. My mom was best friends with my dad's sister, and they grew up playing together, and now they're married.
I mean, I guess to each your own in those scenarios, but like I feel like the people that I would consider my like family, even like the people I grew up with,
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever see them in any other way but like, oh, that's like a brother.
Yeah. And granted, I think my mom has told me that during that time in their life, she just thought that my dad was her best friend's nerdy little brother. So.
That's cute. Yeah, I
But-
mean, like, I think it becomes a problem when it's a known scenario. Because, like I said, there's a million fucking people out there. Like, why is it really that hard that you want to be with your
I think
family?
I wouldn't allow myself to develop those feelings.
Yeah.
Because for me personally, there are steps. It's like, oh, that person's attractive. Oh, I like hanging out with this person. But then there's also the step of like realisticness. And like, I just can't see myself developing a crush on my cousin.
No.
But
I don't get that.
all that to say, even if it's not our preference, but then I think, is that just because society is like, no, that's gross?
I mean, I don't know if it's society.
Because all these people, as you said, jolly old England.
Yeah, it was the good thing to do.
But you didn't marry for love then. You married for status.
Yeah, because that's what society told you to do.
And then all of a sudden, society was like, no, that's bad. So what society are we in, you know?
Yeah, I mean, okay, when you put it like that.
But if I was born from incest and had a fucked up chin because my parents couldn't just
Find
do it with
anyone
someone
else
else,
new.
I would be annoyed.
Yeah, I would be
and
annoyed.
I think annoyed is putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Especially if I wasn't then born into a bunch of generational wealth.
Yeah. It helps when there's wealth involved.
Right. So you're saying I have fucked up genes and I will not be queen?
And I'm poor.
I'm not going to be queen.
Holy shit. Yeah. Like, I think you make really good points because, like, society does dictate how we see certain things. Like, that's just the way it is. It influences us every single day. For good or bad, whatever that is. I think I'm in this situation and of the opinion that I don't think it's good. I wouldn't do it. If someone told me that they are married to their first cousin, I would probably be like, that's a choice. Bold strategy, but it's also their life. So I'd be like, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Your choice to do what you want.
But I would judge them for having kids.
Oh, yeah. I think I would also judge them on the kid front.
Yeah.
And I would be like, whew. But like,
though, with technology, what if they do like IVF or something and they can look at all the chromosomes
and like
be
fix
like,
it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know like how much they can do in that situation. Like, it's not like they can be like, you're like, you have too much of dad in there, so
dad's coming from both sides, actually.
Right.
Let's see if
we're
we can
just gonna have half a dad, you know.
We want the half a dad and the half a mom that aren't the same.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works, but
I don't either. It's interesting. I love that you brought this up because immediately when you mentioned it, my thought went to, did I tell you about the movie I watched?
No.
My Fault London?
No.
On Hulu. And it's about, it's based off of a book. So good. But it's about a person's mom and another person's dad. So they are unrelated. But they get married, and her daughter and his son, when they meet each other, it's like they hate each other because they're now just all of a sudden going to be siblings. And then it turns into they love each other.
Okay.
And it's like, do you think it's gross that they're technically siblings? But in my mind, I'm like, they're not fucking related at all. They just met when they're both 18 and they're turned on by each other. Sure, whatever. That works.
Okay. Then how do you feel about this situation?
Juicy. Let's go.
Not based on a movie, real life. I'm pretty, as I say, real life, true facts. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk's father ended up marrying and I believe having children with his stepdaughter.
Oh, God. Wait.
And so now as I'm saying this, I'm like,
it's not his daughter. It's his old wife's daughter from another husband. Or another man.
Yes.
I mean, that's fucking weird, but also, like, I guess
you're like
similar
biologically no risk. But I think it's like, because it's like already kind of weird, like, oh, you marry your step sibling. It's like, okay, there's no like sharing of genes, but it just feels gross.
Yeah.
But in this situation, I'm like, nope, you were her stepdad.
Yeah, at one point.
And then I guess he divorced from the mom and they reconnected as adults and fell in love.
This actually was on Elliot in the Morning the other day, 102.1 when
I listened to Elliot in the Morning.
They were talking, there was a woman, or maybe it was a man. No, I think it was a woman that is now married to her stepson. Like, they fell in love post because it was,
Yeah.
all of that. And I personally find that to be kind of gross, because
Yeah.
at one point in time you were literally a mother or father figure to
I
this
think
person.
that's worse. I would rather
That's
you marry your first cousin than marry your stepchild.
I think it's pretty much the same. Even though there's no blood relation in the second scenario,
I
it's
just feel
as
like
gross.
with the stepchild situation, I know this isn't all cases, but it feels kind of like groomy.
Yeah, no, it does. Very much so, actually.
And so that's why I'm like,
But you're also picturing like an older man with like a 10-year-old girl, and then she's 18 and now he divorces, which I don't know if it's always like that.
Right, and that's why I'm saying, I'm like,
With stepkids,
not in all cases, but also there has to be some not okay thinking happening for you to be like, no, this is okay. That's like, I mean, I literally think the logic is, I don't know, you're like on a break and you sleep with someone else, the Rachel and Ross. And it's like, it wasn't cheating. We were on a break. And it's like, yeah, we were on a break, but we were on a break for half an hour and you fucked someone else. So it's still not cool. So in the eyes of relationship law, no, you didn't cheat, but also WTF.
Yeah.
And that is how I feel.
That's how you feel about the scenario?
Yeah.
I mean, I see it as not okay. But like, I mean, I feel like I could say that about so many things where I think that it's not okay, and there is a subset of society that is doing it today.
Clearly, this woman from Colorado.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk's father.
Yep. And someone that listens to Elliot in the morning that called in and talked about their life. Or maybe he was talking about something he read. I don't know.
But again,
yeah.
I think, and maybe romance seems like a weird word to use here, but I'm not a very like romantic person, and I don't easily fall in love. So that's why I'm like, there's a lot of barriers I would have to burst and work hard to get through to allow myself to even think, do I have a crush on my cousin?
Yeah.
Do I have a crush on my stepson?
Oh God. That is rough to get,
like, honestly, that one more
around.
So I'm like, you need to go to therapy.
Yeah. We say this. I could literally say the same thing about other people's kinks.
Yes, and that's why, because then you think, oh, well, what if someone was a stepdad for a year when they were 4?
Yeah.
And then they just reconnect later in life.
God.
And she's 30.
That's still weird.
And you're 62.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
But again, that's the point where just be like, you know what? I can acknowledge you have grown up to be an attractive young lady, which even sounds gross saying that, but cannot allow myself to go down that path. I will find somebody else.
Find somebody else. That's what I can't get. I don't get that piece of it.
But maybe you both suck. And so all
your only option
can have is your first cousin.
Shit. I mean, think about like small towns where there's like population size is like less than 500 or something.
They're all some sort of related.
Yeah, I feel like that's those in my mind. The movie is, and like the way the story goes is you have to escape.
Yeah,
you know, it's come back.
Find love.
You have to escape the town, and the dad wants you to take over the business or family business, and you just run away.
Yeah.
To New York City.
Right.
And then fall in love.
Right.
With your second cousin. Because
they also ran away, and you're like, damn it. You also chose New York? Well, so that means it's meant to be. How romantic. We found ourselves in the Big Apple.
Oh my gosh. I feel like out of all the renditions of love that Hallmark has done and all the different movies and the way that you find love, not one of them is growing up with your cousin and falling in love.
Yeah, you know, that's a missed market. Which also makes me want to bring up. So I brought this concept and thought discussion to Skylar, and he said, "You know what is a problem? Incest porn. There's a lot of it," he says.
Wait, okay. First of all, when you say incest porn, we're not talking like just cousins here.
No, and I'm not talking about like child porn because that's
No, you're
illegal.
talking like
But,
sister
like,
and brother.
I you know what? I don't think so. He said
Oh,
there's a
thank God.
lot of like, but like a mother, or maybe it's a lot of like step parent porn. But he said incest porn, which makes me think, yeah, maybe. Because isn't like twin porn a thing? And if you're like having a threesome and you're part of a twin, like you're also doing your twin.
Yeah,
Or
that
unless
concept,
you choose not to touch each other.
a concept does blow my mind. Like because I feel like that was always a thing.
This is a not safe for work episode.
Yeah.
If you haven't picked that up,
We should definitely call that out at the
my
beginning.
brother, maybe don't listen to this with
Yeah.
your children
This
in
is
the
not
car.
a family-friendly episode. We'll do a caveat.
Right, but we like to put our caveats at the end.
Yeah, so you've already listened to half of it. In my shit, I don't even know what I was gonna say anymore.
Incest porn.
The twin thing.
Oh yeah.
So with that, I feel like that was always a thing guys would say if like twin girls,
Yes.
and like having a threesome with two twins was like it. And I don't fully know how twins feel about that, because
Yeah.
I feel like they are the one, especially, I don't know, maybe twin guys too, but I imagine twin girls get this the most. I mean, shit, what happens when you're triplets? I can only imagine,
Ugh.
right? Like, God, what do you
Beds
do
are
there?
only so big.
Yeah. But the way I always envisioned it, when guys would be like, wow, apparently I did envision this. It was just a like here to here. It was never a like twins connect. It was always a guy in the middle.
But I think that's part of it.
And it was-
It's like the twins making out, you know?
Maybe, but I don't know. For some reason, that's how I never envisioned it being like sister on sister or brother. It was always like just maybe two people
Yeah.
onto the guy.
So what we're saying is, if you're into incest porn, or you're a twin who has participated in a threesome with your twin, if you're married to your cousin, if you want to be,
If you want to be.
if you're Elon Musk's father,
Oh, God.
write in, similar but different pod at gmail.com.
Let us know.
Let us know your story.
I will caveat all of this with, do what you want, but don't get mad that my opinion is that it's gross.
Wrap it before you tap it. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for listening, and ta-ta, citizens.
Love ya.